morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Apocalypse.
Welcome to Cuentame USA with Boncho Camano. We have a guest
Nice
here.
talking to you.
We're going to have a nice and pleasant conversation with Samuela Fuiani, which is a vocalist, pianist, plays the keyboards in a symphonic metal band that I know from Italy named Asphodelia. Oh, Asphodelia.
Yeah. Asphodelia.
Asphodelia. Hello, Sam.
Yeah.
How are you doing in Italy?
I'm doing great today. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, nice weather, and I'm a sunshine creature despite my dark metal lady look. So I'm happy today, and I'm glad talking to you.
Hey, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Talk about the band because, like, I heard your band quite some couple of years back, and it was I heard the album Welcome to Apocalypse. I think it was 2018 when it came out, and it caught my attention. It was great songs, you know, nice Mediterranean flavor, like they say, and I really enjoyed it. So the other day I said, "Oh, let me see. Let's go back to Asphodelia, see what they have." Like, I don't know. I gotta talk to them, see what they tell me, what stories they have, because it's been a while, and we're gonna talk about that. But I also have a question regarding a previous band that you had, right? Which was called Black Dahlia, which is the name of another flower. You keep naming flowers. I guess it's
we like flowers.
We like flowers in the spring. But Black Dahlia was like from 2008, right? That's when you started, 2008, the first.
Yes. It was our very first musical project. I mean, Ruggero and mine musical project, because we are the main, heads around. I mean, sorry, this is my very bad earplug.
Don't worry.
Ruggero and I are the core of the project. Right. So we are also life partners. We are married, so it's easier for us to build things.
You're talking about Ruggero
Doronto, yes. Okay. The guitar player of the band and my partner in life and music. So we started this project back in 2008. We played mostly gothic rock in the likes of Evanescence, Him, and other bands in the same sonorities. At some point, we felt the need to play heavier music, stronger music. I mean, it was strong, it was heavy, but it was more rock than metal, and we felt like we were more like metal. And
that's what you liked. You liked more heavy riffs and stuff.
I have to say that I like any kind of music, any genre. I started with classical music. I'm a classical pianist myself.
Right.
I wouldn't say
classically trained, right? You're classically trained.
Yes.
In classical music.
I just thought that our themes just got darker and darker, and we needed a heavier sound just to express them more properly. And that's how our sound grew. And also we replaced, when bands evolve, also the lineup evolves accordingly. And so we welcomed new members to the lineup, and we started under a new name because it better represented what we were doing at the moment.
It's like a new sound, so new name.
Yeah, new flower.
New flower. Did you have a release album with Black Dahlia in 2014?
Yes.
Was there an album? I didn't hear it yet. I didn't hear it, but it's called Fragments. It's called Fragments.
Yes, you did your homework very well.
Yeah, but I didn't listen to the album. That's not good. I should have listened to it.
No problem.
But I'll go back to it if there's available.
Yes.
Didn't you
Fragments
tour
was our,
Spain? You tour Spain, right? Did you tour
yes,
Portugal and Spain during that era?
it was our very first tour outside Italy, and we had so much fun over there. We toured
Right.
Spain and Portugal.
Right.
And after that experience, we also toured again in Spain under the new
With the
band. I
new.
mean, the new band name, Asphodelia.
Hmm. So that's when you started with the new band. That's when this album came out, after like 2 years after you got together with this band. When did you publish this, release the album? Like a couple years after, or the same year? No.
You mean Asphodelia's new album, or
Yeah, the album that you put out in
oh,
2018.
yeah, our debut album as Asphodelia. It was well, actually, I think it was 2014 when we released the first work with Black
An
Dahlia.
EP. You talking about the EP?
No, I was okay. Let's put some dates together.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was 2014. Now it's help me if the date is correct. I don't remember if 14 or 16. Maybe
14,
it was 14. 2014.
14 that's when you came out with Fragments from
Okay,
Black
so
Dahlia,
that was our
right?
first record ever. Then we came out with an EP with Asphodelia in 2016.
Okay.
It was named Jesus, I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Vengeance. It was an EP called Vengeance, I think, right?
Yes, Vengeance. Okay, that's
Yeah.
so bad of me. I don't remember my first EP's name. And then we
and then you came out in 2018.
Album. Yes, yes.
2 years later.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it was. I mean, it was a great album. That's the one I heard. It has many good songs. Most of them, I like all of them. And they will never run out of trend, because we're still having the same problems. Imminent disasters, evil is everywhere. So
yeah. Exactly. Yes.
And mankind keeps toying off with self-destruction. They keep doing that.
Yes.
And extinction. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was gonna talk about your range, vocal range, because you sing in a more lower range, right? It's like more welcoming to the listeners, like more pleasant to the public. That's what I hear, who listens metal. What kind of singer do you classify yourself as?
It's weird. I mean, I've never been very sure about my vocal range, because when I sang in choir, I was classified as a soprano, as a light soprano, actually. But it was also a long time ago. So, vocals, your voice changes with your age.
Yes.
Accordingly to your, you grow up, you're not a young girl anymore. And so your voice changes accordingly. Now I really don't know. I think I'm quite comfortable in higher notes, as well as in lower notes, but of course I have my range. I have to be honest, I never checked the exact notes I can hit, but it's something I'm not interested in. I can really, I just sing in the range where I'm comfortable. I write my own songs, so I can easily understand where I'm more comfortable, and I just write accordingly.
I understand.
And this is why my guitar players hate me. Because they have to probably sometimes they
adjust
really struggle.
They
really struggle with the with the tonalities I write in.
Well, that's okay. They got to work.
But so we need to compromise. We need to find a compromise sometimes. Okay, this is impossible for me. So you have to maybe switch to a little higher or a little lower. So let's find a compromise.
Yeah, let's work together, please.
Yes.
Now, tell me about what happened, because after 2018, you know, you tour, you went to Europe, and you know, there are a lot of festivals, all these great bands, and this and that, and then something, I don't know, it was like the pandemic, you know, 2020, and I'm not sure if you were working on an album. It seems like you were gonna publish an album in 2020, or you were working on an album. Then nothing happened. Maybe something happened I didn't know about. And I was like, what happened after that in 2020? Like, you were like in standby for a while, or you had, I don't know, you tell me.
Yes. Okay, let's start with the second part of the question. You have an album ready? Yes, we have an album ready, and it's going to be released soon. We are actually planning a release in early in 2023. So it's all done. We are working on video clips and all the promotion stuff. So as soon as we are ready to announce a release date, we will.
Those are good news. I like that. You know,
Thank you.
It should be good news for all your fans. They're waiting. You know,
Yes. The problem is that there's been too much waiting because we started working on a new album back in 2020. We did our last tour in the very end of 2021. It was December, and it was an amazing tour. What happened? The pandemic, mostly. We were about to leave. We were about to do our very first headline tour in the UK. We had 4 dates in the UK and another one in France. It was a small tour, but you know, for an independent band, it's you know, a very big goal to have your own dates as an headliner. So we were really so thrilled about this. We were ready to go. The tour was to take place in March, and in January, you know what happened. Everything stopped. The music business just stopped there, and we really didn't know if we were going to play again that year or the next year. We went through 2 lockdowns in Italy, one in March and the other one a few months later, when we were starting planning stuff again. We used those months to finalize our new album. We started recordings in summer of 2021. We finished in autumn of the same year. We also went through mix, mastering, everything, and we were so very happy with the result. We were so thrilled to release it. And then after the summer, when things were appeared to be changing again, in the autumn, in fall, everything shut down again. So we thought that was not the right time to release.
Do anything.
Because it was impossible to do a proper promotion for the album release. You know, an album needs to be promoted through live shows, through tours, festivals, and if any of that was gonna happen,
the album will get lost and nobody will hear it. I mean, you know.
And since we thought that was a really good album, it was a shame, I mean, to throw it away like that. So
there's a lot of work, you put in a lot of work, and it's like
so
something better than what it's gonna be right now.
Now last summer was a good one for live music. Things reopened. I mean, clubs reopened, tours happened again, festival reopened, and for us, I mean, it was at that time because all of that weight, all of that changes around us just didn't do any good to the band. I mean, the lineup. We lost some lineup members, and we are struggling to find new ones. Because you know, we're still in an uncertain environment, and people, it's hard to find new stable members to the band. So
you gotta
this
find
is what's
not just
happening
find
right
any
now.
member. You need somebody who's gonna stay there and like the music,
Yeah,
and you know, get along with everybody.
yeah,
Right.
yes. And you know, for big name, it's big names in the music industry, it's easier. For us who are, you know,
Right.
in the middle, we're not beginners, but we're not even big names.
Right.
So it's harder for us to, well, to
Right. For
gather,
people,
you know,
right.
a lineup who's gonna stay.
Right. The first they want to know about the band. It's not like, oh, it's a big day or everybody knows them, so they know what they're doing or this and that. And when it's like you said, in between, it's like, oh, I wonder who they are. I gotta talk to them and this and that. And yeah, I understand.
So in short, this is what happens, but we are not disappeared. We're here, and
they like that.
actually we're gonna have a new album out very soon, and we are also trying to, I mean, restart with live music, even with session players. We don't care at the moment,
Right.
but we're really dying to be back on stage right now. So
that's good. You know,
this is our good plan for New Year.
Okay.
Starting new live shows and release our album at last.
I have a name for that album. I don't know if it's the right one, but maybe maybe it's not. Maybe I shouldn't say. I don't know. I read it somewhere, but it was from 2020. So maybe you changed the name of the name. So maybe
no, it's gonna be a different title, definitely.
It's a different title. So you see, that's why I shouldn't have said anything. So it's not that one. It's not that one then. Something else. Okay, good. So do you miss going on the road, I guess, right? You really do.
Yeah. Yes, we really do. We are I mean, I dare to say that we are funny people to to travel with. So when we are on tour, we really have lots of fun, and this is something that we really miss, because actually it's not only tours. We haven't traveled at all since 2020. I mean, no, it was 2020. Yeah, 21? The end of 2021. Yes, actually, I was losing my time orientation. So actually, it's something that we really miss, and we're looking forward to do it again.
I have a typical question for you. They ask everybody the same, but I want to ask you, what made you want to become a musician, first of all? What is in music that you really draw you to that?
To me, it was classical music, and I was a very little girl. My mother was a very passionate listener to opera and classical music in general. I have to say I'm not a real opera fan.
Okay.
It's I mean, it's not that I don't like it, it's just not my thing. I was more attracted to instrumental music. By that time, I'm talking about I was 5 or 6 years old back then. And I was attracted to instrumental music, and I started to play piano at that age. At first, I didn't take lessons. I was a self-taught pianist. I mean, I was learning. I was doing my experiments when I was a little girl. And, you know, my parents just encouraged my passion, but they didn't push me too hard into it. They wanted me to find out by myself if I wanted to go any farther with it or not. And I think it's the best thing to do when you have a child that shows passion, interest in something. You don't have to push it, because you end up hating it in the end. So you do it with your own times, in your own way, and it comes if it's a real passion, it comes a point when you want more, and you always want more. That time came for me when I was 11 years old. I started taking lessons, and I started the conservatorium in Foggia when I was 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Foggia, it's my hometown.
Ah, that's
it's
your
in South,
hometown.
yeah, in
Southern Italy. Is that southern
in
Italy?
Puglia. Puglia,
Okay.
Apulia, I don't know how you call
The
it.
region is the region of Apulia.
Puglia, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how I decided most. It was never a clear decision, you know. It was more like something you grow up with.
Right.
It was very natural evolution for me.
I have a question. Did your parents think when you started like playing those like metal and all this, is like, oh, what is she doing? This must be like something temporary. She will grow out of it. I don't know. What did they think about that? Something like that? Like, oh, this she's supposed to do classical music and now it's metal. It's like, oh, what is this?
Well, you know, the two things are pretty much related, I think. In my personal opinion, metal music is what classical music was back then. Metal music is now what classical music was back then. It's you know, the structure, the songwriting, the complexity. It's something that is probably what classical music was at the times. So I think the interest in metal music more than pop music, commercial music, was kind of natural for a classical musician like me. I started to listen to rock music first. You know, I was a teenager, 14, 15 years old.
So it's like 90s music you're talking about, like 90s?
Yes, in the 90s. And
like Evanescence and
Evanescence was
yeah,
it was late 90s, first 2000s. So I mean something before. I don't know if you know.
Like you're talking about like Iron Maiden or Judas Priest or something?
No, that was already heavy metal, and I wasn't. Yeah, I listened to it a lot in the 90s, but it was not, you know, my thing.
The main thing.
I was more like into. When I started listening to metal, I already preferred more the darker sonorities, like the first. It was the, you know, at that time, I mean the late 90s, it was the time when Lacuna Coil started.
And Italian, right?
Yes, and in Italy, I was one of the very first supporters because I started listening to them from their very first EPs, and I said, okay, this is my thing. This is what I want to do. I like so many kinds of metal. I listen to so many subgenres, but this is the thing or something like this, or because actually they had those. But what I also want to do, in addition, was to put my classical training into it. So when things were ready for symphonic metal, dark symphonic metal, that was the time when I said, okay, I want to do this. And
I could do it. I could do this. Yeah. Something that I really enjoy listening to. So I could do it myself. Why not?
Good to hear.
Yeah. But what are your other interests outside music? Is there what else you like doing besides music?
Many things actually. I like computer graphics. I also do computer graphics myself. I take care of all the graphics for the band, like the album covers, album artworks, and t-shirt designs, merch designs. I do all that stuff. Recently, I also started doing video editing, and I'm also trying to learn video shooting as well. It's not easy at all, but it's something that I'm passionate about. So
I guess you would like to learning. You would like to produce your own video clips, right?
Yes, yeah. If you have seen our Cassandra video clip, that was not shot by me, but it was edited by me. So that's where I started doing this kind of professionally, if I can say that. I also, well, what else? I like cats. I'm a cat lover.
You're a cat lover? I have a question. Most heavy metal bands or singers, they like cats. No, they like, some of them like dogs, but not as many. They like cats. It's like, it has to do more like a darker thing. I like cats. They like both. What is with the cats?
I have no idea why so many metal people are into cats as much as I am. I like dogs as well. I mean, I love all animals, but cats are probably, I mean, they are...
they got a different personality, right? I guess.
Yeah, they are more independent. I mean, it's a bit easier to take care of them. So this might be a point in favor. Yeah. But I don't know. I've always had cats in my life. I've had cats in my family. My parents had cats. So maybe I'm just more used to them. I know how to handle them more than I would handle a dog. It's probably, for me, it's not a real preference. It's just what I grew up with. So
right. Well, if you have an apartment, it's much easier to have a cat, I guess. Also.
Yes, of course. Yeah. What else? I'm also fond of. I have a passion for outer space. I mean, for the universe.
You like films? You watch a lot of films? You read a lot of books?
Yeah. Yes, both actually. Yes, I don't have much. I mean, I don't have much time for that, but I try as soon as I can. I do.
What is the biggest problem like you have encountered in the music journey, on your journey? What's the biggest problem for you to advance in music or in the band itself?
Yes, it's a hard question to answer, because the music business is a very complex thing, and it has many aspects that you face when you start. You're not aware of how many different aspects you have to face when you grow enough to realize that. I mean, when you start, all you want to do is play on a stage.
Right.
So this is the first thing. If you're born in a geographic area where there are not many opportunities to do that, that's the first hard step you have to overcome. Here in my hometown, I mean, I wouldn't say there is a real metal scene, because there is a metal scene. It's just too much disconnected. I mean, it's not a real community gathering together, because there are not many big events that bring people together. These events are mostly located in northern Italy. So you can understand that southern Italy is kind of cut off that environment. There are also, I have to say that there are also quite big events over here, but it's not comparable to what happens in the northern regions. So
is there like a lot of clubs or places to play in your area? Is there like a lot?
That's another problem. We don't have many suitable areas for this kind of shows, because a metal show has, needs proper places. I mean, it's not like you are in a duo or a trio, or you play acoustics, so you can play basically anywhere. It requires big stages, a big environment where a crowd can gather. And around here, I mean, around Foggia, which is our hometown, there's not much of that. You have to move to other places, I mean, to other towns, still in southern Italy or central Italy, but it's logistically it's always harder, and that's also that's always something you have to think about it a little.
Right.
It's not like you have all you need in your hometown or in the surroundings, and you also know the right people because they are in your same area, and so you can interface more easily with the people who count in the business.
Have you ever thought of moving, going up north, to another city? Did it ever cross your mind, or I said not? No,
you know, most of the band at the time, because now actually it's me, Roger, and Davide only. But during our different lineup changes, all of our band members had, including ourselves, had a stable job here. So when you have you should think to you should plan to rebuild all of your life somewhere else, and when you start your career in a place, you understand that it's hard to move everything to another place.
Yeah, it's a big step, you know.
Yeah. And after all, I mean,
like starting a new life again.
Yes, we also thought, okay, music is something we can try to do even if we're here and we're not in the right place. I mean, there is internet, there's if you want to tour, of course, it's something that you do independently from where you live. You just
you could be in anywhere at this point.
Yeah.
As long as you keep being relevant and putting out things, like being consistent, putting out content, that's what makes the difference. So the fans don't forget, because there's so much, so many choices and so many bands, and it's like, it's not a war. It's not like a war, but it's like you gotta, do your thing.
It's also, this is also a good point actually to talk about. Everything has already, it's like everything new has already been done. So if you just follow a genre, and it's really hard to say something new, to add something new to what has already been said or done or composed. I mean, we do our best. We don't have we don't dare to be the new messiah of the of symphonic metal. Maybe, I mean, the problem is
you gotta make your own path.
Actually, every band, if you listen to it in deep, actually has something different to say compared to other bands. Of course, the genre is the same. Of course, it's saturated. I mean, it's full of bands doing similar things, but you might find something in one specific band that you don't find in another one. It might be the voice, it might be the themes, it might be, I don't know, maybe you get impressed by a particular song and then you start appreciating all the rest in that band. So it's all about being open-minded as a listener and trying to listen to as much stuff as possible so you can find new things that are actually...
There's always new things. It's like when you do a painting, there are, the colors, all the colors, but you could paint different sceneries with the same colors and play them around and move them around and do this and
and the fact is also that the level is always very, very good. I mean, it's not like if we consider the scenario like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, or even a little farther in time, there was not so much quality in all bands. I mean, it was easier for the band who could afford a good quality recording, a good quality production to come out for big audiences. Right. Now everything is so damn good. I mean, from the songwriting to the single instruments to the vocals, everything is so real good, and it's hard really to do something that others don't do. I'm sorry, just 1 second. Call. Yeah, no okay. Problem. So I understand that as a listener that it might be very hard to
it's not just
to find even
to find
because
it's easy to find good music. The problem is so many choices that that's what I say.
There's so much good music.
You can listen to an album and for some reason that maybe it has 12 songs, 13 songs, maybe 10 are really good, maybe 2 are not that good. They have so-so, but for some reason, let's say you only listen to the really so-so, and then you just jump into another band. You never listen to the album itself. You only jump and you forget about the band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got another.
Yeah, I know. I have the same feeling. I mean,
you go
as
to
a
Spotify and then they suggest another band, and you jump to the other band, and you forget the one you listen to. And maybe that band is great band, and you say goodbye to them, then you never hear of them anymore because so many choices. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I have to say that when I started to listen to metal music, or I mean rock music, when I switched it from classical to this kind of music, right. I remember that I was waiting. If I found out about a band that I liked, I waited so much about the new release. It was such a good feeling to wait until the record was out. And when I finally had that record in my hands, I listened to it over and over and over again. And I could remember every single piece of every single song. It's something. And it's something that I can't do anymore now because I have so many bands that I like now, so many bands that deserve to be listened right now, that it's really hard to do that I could do before.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I have this new record on my iPhone or on my, now music is not in records anymore. It's just a collection object, but also it's so easy to access to any kind of music you want that you get it, you listen to it, and you go over it and listen to something else right away.
Right.
And
it bothers me sometimes. I'm angry sometimes myself. I get angry.
I mean, it's good. It's amazing what we can do right now, but it also has, its pros and cons at the same time.
But I want to listen to your new album when it comes out. That I can do because,
thank you very much.
That will be good to listen to because, like I said, that album, that Welcome to Apocalypse, it was a great album. It was I mean, when I heard it, it was like something different. The sound is different. The singer is beautiful. It sings something, it's not the same than a lot of bands. And but then I forgot. I'm like,
Thank you.
What happened to us?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Then I went to YouTube and I think I saw a video. I'm like, I remember this band. Let me go back to it, listen to it, see a video clip. Now, but 2018. Then I go to Spotify and how many records they put out. I'm like, oh, that's the only. What happened? Maybe they're not around anymore. Maybe they're doing something else. And no, they're still around. You go to Spotify. You go to Instagram, and Sam is there with the new things, showing up. And
yes, it was like every day we were saying, yes, we're gonna release a new album. We're gonna release a new album. We finished working, and then we stopped because it was every day the same. We're gonna release it. It's not yet out, but we're gonna release it.
The album is there. We can say the album is there.
Yes, so the album is there. We're not gonna write it every day anymore because we are tired of ourselves to say it every day.
Right.
But, yes, there's an album in the air, and it's gonna be out soon. It's gonna be also.
How many songs, Sam? How many songs do you have on that album?
Songs? There are, I think 9. Let me
9?
check.
Let me check my phone, see what I have.
Yes, I think it's 9. I don't remember. We had more than the actual numbers, so I don't remember how many we decided to include in it.
Because the first album was more than an hour long, I think. The first album was like 60-something minutes long.
Okay, this is gonna be 46 minutes, and it's 9 songs.
9 songs. Okay.
Yeah, 9 songs. I was right.
You're right. Well, you gotta be right. You're the one who makes the music, who sings the songs.
Oh yes, I know. Well, if you liked our first album, I have to say that you're gonna be surprised by this new one, because it's gonna sound. I wouldn't say completely different, because of course there is some continuity in sound, but it's gonna be much heavier, and I think, in my opinion, much more interesting to hear.
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna do growls.
You're gonna do what?
Extreme vocals, growls.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's gonna be a mixture of clean vocals.
Right, you're gonna mix.
Yeah.
A little.
So it's something that people don't expect.
That wasn't in the first album for sure.
Yes, it's something that I felt it was missing in the first album, because some parts needed, in my opinion, a stronger vocal style. And this is the first time that I do that in the recording. I try to do that before in live shows. I'm comfortable with that.
Practice that a lot, right? Don't you have to really practice and be careful with your vocal cords?
Yeah, I have to say that I was surprised of how similarities there are between the two styles. I mean, technically speaking, it's not something completely different. What is completely different, I think, is what comes out of your mouth. But the basics are, I wouldn't say more or less the same, because a few things change actually, but the real basics are not different.
Okay. I was going to ask you, you were the one that composed all the music, right? On the first album, you were the one most of it?
Yeah.
And the lyrics, not the lyrics, right? You didn't write.
The lyrics is something that we split, Ruggero and I. It's some lyrics are written by him.
It's the same thing on this album. Some songs are written by you, half and half.
It's the same.
Same way.
The same.
Same process.
This is a confession I have to make. I think Ruggero is much more a better songwriter than I am. I mean, regarding lyrics, he's the poet, and I'm the musician. I would say that if I want to sum up our roles, this is what we are. He's the poet. I am the songwriter. But I learned a lot from him, from his songwriting, and I think that I became confident enough to think that I can write my own lyrics by myself. So some songs that I felt particularly mine, I wanted to write myself the lyrics, and I think it was happy with the results. So I'm happy because I really consider him a very good lyricist. So if he said okay, I'm happy. And some others actually suited him more than me. So he wrote the lyrics himself.
Okay. Do you have now you're gonna, well, maybe in 2023 you'll be hitting up, going to the different live shows, do some, if you ever do some festivals, who knows, we'll see what happens, right? Everything is, we'll see what happens next year. But will you have anxiety, performance anxiety when you go back, after, a couple of years?
A performance what? Sorry, I don't understand.
Dealing with the anxiety of going back on stage and singing. It's something will be something more pressure on you, will be it's what I did before, and nothing, new songs, we got to put them out, and we'll have
you're asking if
if
our next live shows are gonna change compared to our past ones.
No, I mean, if you're gonna have like some kind of pressure just dealing with, a new
pressure.
album, and the way you're singing was gonna be different, and
sorry, the
like
audio is not...
anxiety going on stage,
anxiety,
like after a couple years.
Yes. If I think about that, maybe a little bit, because actually we were running pretty well at the time. We were getting experience.
The wheels were like turning, like lubricated, no problem. And now it's like a stop, and then now you gotta pump it up again.
It's like when you train. I mean, when you're a runner, let's say that you're a runner, then you're very well trained. You do your competition, you get used to them, you learn how to deal with anxiety and all of the stuff related to a performance. Then you stop completely, and there's more than physical training. I mean, when you are running into a thing that is working regularly, you learn all the automatism, all the everything that is also behind the live show becomes quite kind of easy, because it's repeated. It becomes kind of a routine, and when you stop that routine, actually you say, okay, am I gonna be able again to do that?
That's what I'm saying. Then you gotta meet again new people, or maybe the same bands that you met before.
You know what? I have something similar to tell you. I have stopped driving for a long time.
Okay.
I started again recently, and people always said, no, you're gonna get into the car and you're gonna go, because it's like running a bicycle. You learn and you stop for years, and then you go, and it's like you never stop. Well, it was exactly like that. So just a little bit of adjustment at the beginning, but it's something that you know how to do. You just have to, get off of some rust.
No, I understand. I understand
I think
the driving similarity, because I remember also driving automatic in the United States all the time. Automatic, I have to do nothing, just put it in drive and goes. And then sometimes you go to, just say, Europe or Spain, and you have a stick, with a different speeds, 6-speed, and which, oh man, this has been so long. And it takes like 5 minutes, and then you remember how to do second, third, and fourth, and all that.
So I just hope it's going to be the same with live shows.
Well, now we're talking about bad show, going back to shows. What was the worst experience you ever had on stage so far? You remember? Maybe like stomach problem, digestive problem, maybe no sound, maybe a crazy fan yelling stupid things. Who knows? What was the worst thing ever happened?
This would require an entire new chapter.
Yeah, it's like a book.
Let me recall a few of those episodes, and I'll just pick the best.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm there. It was not actually something happening on stage, but behind the scenes. We were driving to a small town in southern Italy for a live show. It was winter. The middle of winter, and it was very bad weather, and we had to split into 2 or 3 different cars, because for that time we had some problems with our van, and we decided to go with personal cars instead. We just turned on the GPS, and we started driving, following the GPS indications.
Okay.
The more we drove, and the more we realized that we were getting in the middle of nowhere. And at some point, the GPS also stopped working. We got in some kind of blind area where no phone signal was available, no internet connection was available. So we were in a blind spot. We were in the middle of nowhere, and all we could do is, okay, there are no road indications, so we just go straight on. We're gonna find something and maybe, or someone, and maybe we can ask.
Okay.
It got worse and worse. And in the end, we realized that the car, I mean, we were covered in trees, in vegetation, and we couldn't go any further because the car was, I mean,
running
it
out
was
of
running.
gas?
No, we was working. We had gas, but the wheels were stuck.
Oh,
and we couldn't move.
Okay.
So we stopped the engine. Also, we were going first. It was 3 cars in the beginning. Our bandmates were behind us. So we just said, okay, let's see what's happening here. I got out of the car and I found myself up to my knees in mud. Yeah, I was scared to death. Also, it was Ruggero driving next to me. He got out of the car. It was the same for him. The car was half in mud, and we were panicking. I mean, I was trying to keep calm, but it was easy. It was not easy because no phone connection, no internet connection.
I couldn't. Like a scary movie.
Yeah, we had a live show starting in an hour. And we were up to our knees in mud. The car was there, and the worst is that the worst was that I had no idea because it was all dark around. I couldn't see what kind of stuff I was in. I thought, okay, quick sense, I'm gonna die here tonight.
This is the end. Music is killing me.
And that's how Welcome Apocalypse came out. No kidding.
No angels came down. No angels came down to lift up the vehicle and you, and nothing like that.
Okay, the first thing I had, the lucidity to do was trying to walk as good as I could to make some steps inside that lake of mud. And I finally found a spot where I could get very little phone signal. And I called my bandmates and said, oh, guys, stay where you are, turn back, because if you're following the same road we followed, you're gonna stuck somewhere. So
this is like the road to nowhere. There is a road that goes nowhere.
If you can turn back, find another way to get to the venue and ask for help, because we are stuck here and we have no way to get out of here. So we were lucky because everything actually solved in less than half an hour. The guys found a very easy way to get to the venue. I hate GPS sometimes because it gets you to crazy roads. Right. And we later found out that the problem we had was a very common problem that people getting there for the first time had before us. So people were prepared for this to happen somehow. And
so had you ever made it to the venue? How did you get
there? Because the guys got to the central square. It was a very little town, so people was all gathered to the venue. And when they mentioned our problem, they said, oh, okay, it's all the old story we always have here. Let's go. And
they rescue you.
Very, very kind people could drag our, they were equipped for this kind of event.
Like a tractor pulling?
It was, something like that. And they rescued us. They dragged our car out of the mud. And it was so fun because when we got to the venue, all people around from, it was a central square. So people from shops, all commercial activities in the area got out and welcomed us with water.
You were hungry also, like
washed our shoes.
Or something, so I cannot
even our car, they helped with our car. So they were so sweet and kind. I mean, after such an adventure, you would say, okay, this is gonna be such a crappy performance. Right. We are lucky to be alive, so we are tired. Let's say what happens. It was probably one of the best performances we ever had on the stage.
Do you ever write a song about that? You could write a song about that stuff. Like
yeah, all the adrenaline, all the, we were so scared and then so
of
rushed,
course.
and we were so high. I mean, and on that stage, we just let go all of our,
Yeah, you released all the
yeah,
you had
adrenaline.
inside.
It was nice. And the people
That
was
was
so kind and welcoming. And, it was even warmer because of what happened. So it
great.
was a
That
hell
was
of a
a great
show.
story you tell me. Great story. It's fun.
We have lots of them.
But alas, imagine if you were like 20 years doing a concert, how many will you have?
No, I mean, for a small band, it's easier to collect stories like this because, all the big organization you have
Yeah.
behind a big band, a big production, it's something that we don't have. So we have to manage with our own forces. And sometimes our
That's
forces
good.
are limited.
Sometimes it's fun to do it, It's part of
Yeah,
being
it's something that
music.
you have stories to tell your friends when you're drunk.
Is there anything you carry with you all the time when you go on stage, like a special ring, a bracelet, or a chain, or something that you have memories of, or you don't really doesn't matter to you?
No, we just get on stage and give it all. We don't have, a pre-show
No, I'm
habit
saying
that we.
like a ring or like a bracelet or anything special that you carry with you, or
Oh, you mean
like a
something like
talisman.
a fortune ringer,
Yeah, something that you think is gonna help you when you are on stage.
No, I'm
There's
not that
nothing
kind of
like
person.
that,
I mean,
right?
I'm not into that.
You don't,
I'm not a superstition person, I would say.
right? So it doesn't. It's nothing that you worry about. Like, oh, I forgot my special watch at home.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
really, I'm
nothing
not
like
that kind
that.
of
Nothing like.
person. Yeah, no.
That's a good
Don't
thing.
know about the other band members. Actually,
A lot
not
of
me.
people. I spoke with a lot of bands, and they get nervous. Like a couple of singers, if they don't bring something that they always carry. It was like, oh,
No,
they gotta send somebody and pick this up and bring it because I cannot be on stage without it. It's like, okay,
no, not me.
not you.
And also, I'm not the nervous kind of person. I mean, I'm not nervous when I get on stage. Oh, I mean, depends on the circumstances. Maybe, there are some problems on that show of any kind, maybe bad audio or some equipment failing. And but at least I'm speaking about me, when I get on stage, I forget about all the rest. I just enjoy the moment.
Right.
It's something that we don't have the chance to do all the year, every day.
Plus,
So it's
I think you enjoy more being on stage in studio, I
yeah,
guess, right? You like
yeah.
being on stage
Oh,
more than in the studio recording?
there are different kind of things. I enjoy both. Actually, I really like the creative process behind the live show, the songwriting,
Okay.
working on new songs. It's probably, maybe I would say that I like that better than live shows. But
Okay.
I don't know, really. I love both.
You love both.
I love both.
Well, hopefully I will see you soon on stage. Well, first the album has to come out, and then we'll see you around, right?
Yes.
Hopefully you can tour Europe, some other countries, go back to Spain, which is at least you can eat good food. Portugal.
I would love to.
Right.
Actually, we went to Spain on each one of our tours. We did festivals, we did tour dates. I think we've been on tour in Spain, I think in 2019, 2020, and also 2021. I think we had some dates also on that tour, on our last tour.
Okay.
So maybe we also have some YouTube live shooting, live videos made from someone from the audience. So
so there are recordings during that time that some people make.
Yeah, some live recordings are available. I mean, from the Spanish dates, I remember. So it's something I think it's going to happen again, because usually the tours we join are tours that usually hit that area.
Right.
So we will be more than happy to be back as soon as possible.
Well, all I want you is around here also. If you ever made it to the United States, I'll be the first one to show up.
I mean, for European bands, it's, you know,
it's hard, especially
painful,
here to come to the United States. It's hard for, you know, there are a couple of bands that they always come, but you know, they're like major things. But
yeah, it's always
it's rough to come.
Harder for bands who are in the middle, you know, not too famous or not beginners. We're in the middle, and it's struggling sometimes.
Yeah, but I hope everything goes well with the band, and you have steady players besides Ruggiero. And
yes, Davide, our bass player.
Yeah,
he's also a very good friend out of the band. I would say that he's another one of the very few certain things we have in our band.
That's for sure. That's gonna stay there.
Yeah, yeah. He's always there, and he's always been there. I mean, not back in 2014 when we released our first album as Black Dahlia. Okay. He joined the band a little later, but we still were Black Dahlia. So he lived the transition with us, and he's been with us since then. So
he's going nowhere. He's going to stay with you guys.
He's not going nowhere.
He's not leaving us. No.
No, not really.
We're going till the end.
Yeah.
So it was fun talking to you. I really appreciate it, Sam. I really appreciate talking to you. And,
same for me. Same for me.
I will keep listening and seeing, you know, things. If something comes out, I'll be watching you guys. Let's say I'll be watching you.
Okay.
Waiting for that album.
I'm glad about that.
And see if I like it, and I will let you know if I really do.
I'm looking forward. I'm pretty
sure
to get
it has to
feedback.
be. It has to be, because if that album was good, this one is gonna, like you saying, it's gonna be much better.
I hope so. At least that's my opinion, but you know, I'm a partisan, you know.
No, but I think it's gonna be good. I recommend listening. For people who don't know this band, Asphodelia, listen to that album, Welcome to Apocalypse, and you tell me what you think about it, and then wait for the next one, and you'll see what happened, how much they evolved, her singing and their music, and let me know if you like it, because I have a lot of good positive feelings about this band. So hopefully we can talk to them maybe next year when they're touring somewhere and they're not stuck in the mud. Maybe they'll have some nice signal we can talk to. They have internet.
Hopefully, winter in summer.
Okay, I'll get in touch with them in July when there is no rain and everything is dry.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you very much.
I appreciate your help. I appreciate for showing up for this Sunday. And because it's a beautiful day in Italy, where she lives, she's going for a walk and she has to think. And I'll be here stuck in the rain in the United States. So I appreciate.
So sorry for you.
All the best for you, Sam. All the best. I really appreciate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
much. I hope the band goes for the right way and they keep doing good music. That's all we need.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have fun. Okay.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
В ходе артобстрела.
Heaven's crying, poison teardrops. The woods are burning. shaking.